Hey everybody, Adam Rogers here with Power-Tek Group. Today we're going to be using this Southwire MAXIS Xtreme bender. It can do all of your bending needs from 1/2 inch right up to 2 inch. I don't know why anybody would use it for 1/2 inch or 3/4, but some people are lazy. But anyway, we're going to use 2 inch and I'm going to show you how to bend an offset. Now, first thing you got to remember is when you're using this, you never start your bend right at the end of the pipe. You always want to leave a couple inches at the end of the shoe. So we're going to mark 2 inches here, just so we know that's where we're going to sit on our shoe. We're going to do a basic offset. We're going to do a 30-degree bend. And we're just going to mark a couple spots here. Do the old ring around the pipe so we know where we're going. Now it's also important to remember that before you actually use a bender, that you give it a trial run to make sure it's not just going to kink the crap out of your pipe. Which was happening with this until I got down and I did some calibrating and adjusted this. So hopefully we got it dialed in perfectly. Now the first mark we made is right here. And we're going to line that right up with the front part of our shoe. Now when you load your pipe in, you're going to see this -10 degrees. That just makes it easy access for loading in. Now you're going to need to put ample foot pressure on this. Your full weight if necessary. And we got a special remote control with bend and return. So we're going to bend, get this to the 0 mark. You probably noticed with my weight, the foot pressure went all the way down. So that means we're locked in and we should be good. Now if you look at the charts on here, it says if you want to make a 30-degree bend with 2 inch pipe, you actually want to go to 32 degrees because of the spring back on your pipe. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to aim to get this little yellow mark at 32 degrees. Keeping steady foot pressure on. And there we are, 32 degrees on the first bend. Now you can take your foot off the pedal. Take it back to -10 degrees. And then we're going to find our other mark, which is right here, again lined up with the front of the shoe. This is where a lot of people have problems, making sure that your pipe is going to be level when you're done and straight so you don't have a big dog in it. Takes a little bit of time and frigging around. Alright, so that's looking pretty decently straight. So we're going to take it again up to 32 degrees because of our spring back. Alright, so now we've got our bends. We're just going to make sure that we're level, right between the lines, exactly where we want it to be. And we are at exactly 1 foot, which is what I did. Double my measurement for a 30-degree bend. I measured 2 feet, got a 1 foot offset. And that's how it's done, my friends. Alright everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Southwire MAXIS conduit bender. We're going to be bending a 90 now. We saw how easy bending an offset was. Now we're going to give this a go. Now, I got a shortened piece of pipe because I realized there's not a lot of space right here in this loading dock. So we're going to bend 90 at the 2 foot mark. Back of the 90 needs to be at 2 feet. So as before, we're going to make our first mark at 2 feet. I'll just fumble around with this tape measure a little bit. Now, you're probably saying, Adam, I know how to do the take up for my hand benders, my 1 inch, my 3/4, all that good stuff, but I have no idea what kind of take up I need on this bender. Well, lucky for you guys, everything is on this nice sticker right on the top. You just gotta go over here, stub 90s, the deduct table, look up your EMT, 2 inch, it says right there, 16 3/8. Couldn't be more simple. If you come over here, it's got all of your degree bends, your 15, your 30, your 45, your 60. It's all right there. And the other thing to note is when you are doing a 90 with this, as we're about to do, there's obviously going to be some pipe spring back. So it tells us here on our convenient chart that we need to bend to 96 degrees. So let's put our tape on our mark. We made it 2 feet, and we'll measure back 16 3/8. Right there. And we'll ring the pipe with our mark. And as before, it's important that we have this pencil mark that we just made lined up with the front of the shoe. And then we are going to apply our foot pressure onto the bender. Okay, and again you saw as I brought it up to 0, my foot pressure fully engaged the bender. And we're going to take this up to 96 degrees. Now it might be a little confusing for some people because there's this big black thing right here, but what you're really looking at is this little yellow triangle right here. It's hard to see because the shoe kind of blocks it, but from my vantage point I can see right there we're on 96 degrees. So we're going to release the pressure. Take it all the way back to -10 degrees. And there we are. We're right in the lines. Perfect. Now we'll flip it down. Make sure that we got the back of our 90 at 2 feet like we wanted. And there we are. 2 feet. Just that easy. Alright everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial that I made for you. If you don't like bending pipe, I do. I have no problem doing it all for you. But I hope you learned enough to do it on your own in a pinch. Stay safe, my friends.